Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Holy Week. I want to take us on a journey Monday through Friday of what Jesus was doing, where he was staying, what he was experiencing, what was going on around him, as a way for us to kind of prepare our hearts for this journey towards Easter. We know that Jesus comes to Jerusalem because it's the Passover time. And Passover had been a major festival for all the Jewish people, and they'd been required to go to Jerusalem to celebrate the festivals in a particular way. We don't know the exact size of Jerusalem. Some have guessed maybe 50,000, but we know that when the Passover comes, it's triple or even quadruple that size. Many people descending upon Jerusalem, lots of activity, lots of things going on, and it's all kind of contained in this 1 week. Jesus actually didn't stay in Jerusalem during Passover. He actually stayed in Bethany, which was where Lazarus, Mary, and Martha lived. And what he would do is he would commute in and out every day. It was a couple of miles away, sort of a bedroom community of Jerusalem, Bethany was. And he'd go through the Mount of Olives, arrive into the city, and kind of spend the day in that. And we're going to see that as Jesus's pattern. He will have times that he's very interacting, then have times of retreat. And it's Mary, Martha, and Lazarus who he intentionally decides to spend his last week before his death with, as a way of maybe finding some comfort and just being filled and being with people that he loves and who love him. And it was with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus that John's gospel in the 12th chapter begins this time with a meal, that they're throwing this meal for, and Jesus is there. And it's in the midst of this meal that Mary comes and pours this pound, a very expensive perfume, on his head. And she anoints him. And Jesus says she is preparing him for his burial. Now, it just warms my heart, doesn't it, you, that someone would have given this generous gift and served Jesus in this way. Not everybody in that room understood it. Not everyone in the room appreciated it. Matter of fact, Judas the gospel tells us that Judas sort of pushes back. Well, why was this done? We could have sold this perfume, put it in the treasury, and we could have done more good for a lot more people with it. And Jesus just pushes back and says, she's done the important thing. She's done the important thing. Many have speculated that Judas simply wanted this perfume to be sold and put in the treasury so he could have access to it. I wonder if it's even a step beyond that. I wonder if this was the straw that broke Judas's back, that he expected some earthly kingdom. Even though Jesus had talked about his death for some time, I think none of them got it except maybe Mary, perhaps Martha, and Lazarus. The rest of them really expected that Jesus was just talking in parables again, and that they would be part of some sort of administration that Jesus would set up. And so Judas would go from not just caring for the treasury of a small group of disciples around Jesus, but of a whole government, and he would have a place of significance. But Mary seemed to get it completely wholly. Mary was not distracted by either what her personal desires were or all the activity going around, all the things that were happening. Mary was solely focused upon caring for Jesus and showing her expression of love and devotion. I think this is a great week to start Holy Week, or a great day to start Holy Week. It's going to be easy to be distracted this week. This Holy Week will not look like any of the others that we have experienced in our lifetime. And if we're not careful, we could get distracted, either based on sort of our personal desires of, oh, I wish it was different, or there's so much else going on. We can get distracted, and we can miss the true message of this week that leads to Jesus' death, his burial, and the resurrection. I pray that we would embrace the way of Mary and that we would set aside those personal distractions, and that we would focus solely and completely on the Christ and see what he has for us this week, and how we might even be changed, and what we could do to give ourselves to not only devotion to him, but service to others. I pray that this Holy Week would be one that transforms us all. And it all starts with us refusing to be distracted, completely and wholly focused and devoted upon the one thing that will have eternal significance this week. I pray that we would choose that.